Get ready, boys. The watch list, the stock picks, they're developing. A lot happened today. It's exciting for tomorrow and Friday with options. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I have a few new plays and a lot of new reasoning and background behind some of the plays we went over before. So I hope you guys are ready for this. Like I said in the last video, watch list is, we want to be able to document all this, and then usually by pre-market we're going to be going over this, and things are changing and we're going over it on stream. So if you guys haven't checked that out, link in the description. It's pinned to the chat. It's up in the corner. It's everywhere. youtube.com/the stock market. We are live 30 minutes before market open. So come here, and again, put your watch list below. I want you guys, I want to see what you have to say, and like the video. You guys are showing me you like this. I like doing these, and I like following it along, and hopefully you guys are taking away a lot of the learning lessons. But let's get into this. So a few huge developments from the ones we've had on the watch list yesterday. Micron had earnings, and this shot up. Is this going to be a good one to play? The IV was already pretty low. It wasn't priced in to move a lot for the earnings, and as you guys see on stream, we were expecting $1.30. That's what we went through the option chain. It went up about $1.60. We're going to see that it did a nice little pop, lock, and drop it move, but we're going to see how this plays out coming into tomorrow. But there was also Korean export data. So a lot of Korean data actually came out, and that is actually related to chip makers. So even with Micron, they came in worse than expected, or better than expected on the adjusted. Their revenue was awful, but they did guide lower. So this was actually something related to FedEx that I thought I'd bring up here, because, they guided down lower the first in December, just like FedEx, but they slightly beat. So FedEx guided lower again, or missed, and then guided lower again, which was interesting. But they had a move today we're going to talk about. But with Micron, watch AMD, Nvidia, all that, just like we've been saying. But now after this earnings and that Korean data, we might see some chip weakness. So if this is going to bring some of the chip makers down, they've kind of been rallying. I'm going to keep my eye out on that. Next is Boeing. So the calls got cheap today. The puts got cheap. I don't know if you guys are on there. I don't have my Tasty Works up, but we've been documenting it on stream. I've sold a strangle on it pretty much, and we've been watching the values fluctuate. But after hours today, literally right at close, there was a report of the department, or FBI, actually getting into the probe that they had already just with the FAA, how this was approved. So some more negative news, and there was a few negative pieces yesterday, but we'll see how it developed. Again, it went straight to 369, 372, and then held. But Boeing's going to be interesting, and the options are getting cheaper, so that's something to watch. And again, that's something we've been saying keep your eye out for. And now, don't forget next week, and that is something, and let me actually even say that, coming into any of these plays, you guys, start understanding, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are great for contracts to get cheap, but you got to start flipping them a little faster like hotcakes, and then also start planning to look at next week as those have depreciated too. And then now we're seeing volatility, so make sure you guys are taking advantage of it. It's going to bring up two plays now. Well, one, if you guys saw McDonald's, I'm really, really excited for this one. This one might be the main event. And then I'm also going to talk about some of the bank stocks with this, to what to look for now, because McDonald's developed. I said watch the value stocks. This is something we've been trying to keep our eye on for. I went over this yesterday. And also, too, the date is March 20th for those who are just watching through these videos. I forgot to mention that. But we've been documenting it yesterday. I said, there's going to be a divergence. And there you go. You saw, that's the SPY in yellow? Yeah, there's that. But we're going to see which one keeps up with which. But I'd expect now, you see the SPY's over here. McDonald's is up here. If SPY goes down lower, it could diverge and keep going like it did today. Or if the SPY comes up and meets up, it might bring a boost to McDonald's. But again, coming into next week, I'm in the money on those, or 3 cents away. So that's something I've been looking at. And I know a lot of people have made some pretty cool plays on that. So watch those value stocks, McDonald's, Walmart, Starbucks, all et cetera, et cetera. But then now, FedEx too. I'm going to bring up FedEx, and then another one. These were all from yesterday. But FedEx, this made a pretty decent move, and now tomorrow and Friday, the contracts are already cheap. FedEx was cheap on both sides. I took a straddle on it this morning. So take a look at FedEx and watch what it could do, because if it starts to make those big moves, I really think we could see some level of continuation. And FedEx is kind of like Boeing. If it picks a direction, it will go there. But now the killer on this is either going to make a big move or it's not. But now, next one is Disney. I still want to watch Disney. The contracts this week are they're fluctuating really, really greatly, but the ones next week are gaining a premium. The market is pricing something in again. And today, I brought up yesterday, that was historically pretty big volume on Disney. It's there again. They completed the merger with Fox. There's all the competition from the streaming stuff. Nothing has changed with it except it went down another 2% today. It ended up closing higher. And one thing that showed the weakness, why I'm saying I'm gonna keep my eye out on for it, even coming into next week, more likely on the downside. But the market it took a while. The market really had to rip before Disney kind of started getting some strength. So that one was very, very important to watch. And then next now is Goldman Sachs. Keep this up. I bought a call on it, and I want to see if what type of pop we get tomorrow, but I'm even thinking short banks. So I'm going to see if we get a pop, try to get a put on it tomorrow morning. I want to see how the scope of everything is, because there's two things. One, it's the reaction to the Federal Reserve today. If you didn't watch the market update video, you guys could go see that. But in a nutshell, the rates dropped, so the rates stayed the same, bond rates dropped. It's affecting banks really were not happy. And now we also have tomorrow the Bank of England, so we are going to see what they report, what they want to, if they're going to cut or not, anything of that nature. And one thing people are missing is that Bank of England was very, very dovish on early March. We made a video on that because they surprised, and I was surprised they actually decided to ease. Now you saw the result from the U.S. side right now, and then we're going to see another, more updates from the UK central bank as opposed to the EU. But this is going to be interesting to watch. So Wells Fargo, Citi, all that, I'd keep my eyes out on that. And now lastly, this is a new one, and this one has to do with the options and overall just connected to the market. You would think, this is like a weird messed up value stock. Even though GM provides a good dividend, it's one of those good companies. It has a lot of exposure right now, especially now with the tariffs, all the China stuff, and that came on too. So next, I want you to look at is GM. The options are getting cheaper essentially. So depending on where it opens, there's a lot of weakness. So what I'm trying to say here, what makes the options slightly cheaper? Some of these options, they're slightly up. They were up a lot more, and it could, that's what I'm saying. Wait till we see tomorrow. Low volatility, the same risks of this being as bad as it was the last few days is still on there, and even taking more risk from China in that. It's a slow mover, meaning it's not expected to move a lot, so that's why it has the potential to, it's not too big of a float, but the options are going to be cheaper. So watch GM. I'm watching that. Automakers on the put side, and we will see. And then lastly, Chinese stocks, Baba, YYJD, all that. But specifically, Alibaba's been making crazy moves. But then if you go look at stocks like Baidu and JD, they were kind of lagging. I want to put up Baba over this. Maybe I guess Baba just led slightly. There's a few periods, but watch Alibaba, watch the Chinese stocks again with all that trade stuff. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, those are pretty much it, you guys. Like I said, if I want to know your watch list, tell me what you guys are looking at. Come to the stream 30 minutes before open tomorrow. You'll find all those links below, but these could change. And again, a lot's going to happen with just overall now volatility has crept back in, So here's the S&P 500 seeing these moves. We're going to see how these next 2 days play out, and we're going to see how it factors into next week. But keep your eye out on for this and be patient and be quick to take your profits on the volatility. So we're going to be streaming this. It's going to be fun. If you guys like this video, again, thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for these updates. I love you. Peace out.